If all you're interested in is trucking stuff, you may or may not want to watch this video. I'm not going to talk about trucking. I'm going to talk about a different mode of transportation, a military Air Force mode. Yes, I want to talk about a different mode of transportation that has to do with the U.S. Air Force. Nothing about trucking, but it's personal to me, so I thought I might tell you about an event that I attended this past Saturday, and you might enjoy some of it. I mentioned before that I was in the Army, and I was also in the Texas Air National Guard. Air National Guard is actually part of the United States Air Force at some capacity. I think it compromises almost half of the whole U.S. Air Force between the Guard and the Reserve. When I was in the U.S. Air Force Texas Air National Guard from 86 till about 94 with a small break in between there. When I got to the unit, it's the 136th Tactical Airlift Wing. When I got to the unit, I went in as an air cargo specialist, building pallets to fly on airplanes and also airdrop loads to drop out of the C-130. Then I went to Loadmaster School about less than a year after I got there. I went to C-130 Loadmaster School and was part of the 181st, at the time, Tactical Airlift Squadron, now just Airlift Squadron. I don't know why they took tactical out of it. They still do the tactical job, the tactical mission. But anyway, when I went to Loadmaster School in 1987, they had C-130B models. And I know that doesn't mean anything to most of you, but the B models that they had in 80, well, I can't remember, they got them in the 70s, I think. But the B models that they had were built in 1958. 1958 is the same year that I was built. So when I got there, they had airplanes as old as me. That was in 87, 86, 87. I went off to school. When I came back, there were one or two B models left on the ramp, but they had received brand new, straight out of Lockheed plant in Marietta, Georgia, C-130H models. Really upgraded, lots of new technology, better engines, everything. It was new. They were new. 1986 models, I think, but we got them in 87. So the event that we held last Saturday was the H model retirement celebration. They've had H models since 1986-87, and they're getting ready to, they're not going to change the mission. It's going to be the same mission. They're getting in mostly brand new C-130J models. Now I'm going to show you some video here a little bit later, and I'll explain the difference between the H model and the J model for the most part, and show you some pretty neat things. The J model's got upgraded engines, props. I'll show you all that in a little bit. But the celebration was really cool because it brought back a whole lot of old folks that were there for a long time. Some of these guys that were there when I was there started when the unit had KC-97s. Look that up. So it was a great time, a lot of great old memories. Got to see a lot of good friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. I keep track with them on Facebook, some, and some of them just kind of stalk on Facebook. I see them on there, but they're mostly just around. But I got to talk to some friends, go over some old memories, and it's really funny because some of these guys, when I left, especially some of the pilots and navigators, they were young, first lieutenants, captains. One of the guys I flew with, he was a captain when I got there. He ended up being a 2-star general. So it's hard to imagine some of these guys that I flew with when they were green having some authority in the squadron. One guy is the ops group commander. He's full-bird colonel now. That just says how old I am. But anyway, let's take a look at how things went last Saturday at the Joint Reserve Base in Fort Worth, Texas. Here we are at the Joint Reserve Base, Fort Worth, Texas, home of the 136th Airlift Wing and the 181st Airlift Squadron. So when we first got to the base about 12:30, there were a couple of airplanes in the pattern. and they had crew members that were on their final flight in the H model. Now, when they come in on their final flight, they get the traditional water cannon salute from the fire department, and their family members will be ready to soak them down with water, fire extinguishers when they deboard the plane. And the reason they're on their final flight is flight engineers and navigators are no longer on the J model C-130s. Those have been eliminated. Now on the H model, you'll notice it has external tanks in between the engines. It has older engines and the four-bladed props. Also, it holds 6 standard cargo pallets, which are 108 inches wide by 88 inches long. You'll notice on the J model, the fuselage is longer. It holds 2 more pallets, 8 total pallets of those standard cargo pallets. Also, there's no external fuel tanks on here, and it has upgraded engines, 6-bladed props for better performance on the airplane. All in all, it was a great day out at the base. Got to see a lot of old friends and talk about a lot of old memories. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the alarm bell, like the video, and we'll see you later.